Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining the Sons of Norway monthly agent update. We have today with me, I've got Mike Godbout and Jenna Smith. I am John Benz, and we've got a pretty exciting agenda for you today. We are going to be talking through a commissions quick tips flyer that we have out. It's an oldie but a goodie. We will be discussing the single sign-on and password expirations. We've got some peek behind the curtain on the updated pricing that's coming up. We've got a reminder on our underwriting for COVID. It is a reminder, not an update. We're going to be discussing policies around our automatic withdrawal program. We've got a wonderful presentation on best practices about expressing gratitude. And we've got a sales idea around leaving a legacy. As a reminder, all of you are on mute today. You will be not able to ask any questions live, but you can utilize the questions feature on the right side of your screen. You can do that at any time throughout the presentation, and we can answer those questions at the end of the presentation. So we look forward to that, and thank you again for joining. So first up, we have a new sales resource that is, more to the point, it's an updated sales resource. We have a updated commissions quick tips that is now available. We will be sending that out after this presentation as a part of this discussion. But what this does is it answers a lot of the questions that we get from our agents relating to commissions questions. When do I get paid? How are you broken down from when I submitted an application? When are those monies released to the bank, et cetera, et cetera? And this does a good job of explaining those things and should answer the vast majority of questions without the need of you calling in and speaking with somebody live. So we look forward to sharing that with you again. It will be part of our new agent experience so that agents who are onboarding will be able to see that information. But for all of you who are already agents, we'll be sharing that with you as well. Next up, from an agent experience perspective, is you've probably seen a number of emails from us relating to our password reset or password change and our single sign-on initiative. So why are we doing this? This is key to our security, or your security, more to the point. We don't want to be in the business of making updates to passwords manually. We don't want to see your passwords, nor do we want anyone to have access to the ability to guess passwords. So we're asking that you change your password. Time is running out on this. That will be forced at some point. We wanted to give the agents, or give you, an opportunity to make those changes yourselves because it's a simpler process. Your password is accessed through the agent resource portal, and that is how you will get on to our life-based sales and illustration quoting tool. Those will be expiring, as I mentioned. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you're following those easy to follow instructions that will be coming out either in an email that you've already received relating to this topic, and we will be reminding you again at least another couple of times. So we really appreciate your assistance in this, and that will help us keep everybody safe and secure. So along those lines, we are also we've got our single sign-on initiative. What this is in theory, it's making things far simpler for you to utilize getting access to our life-based tools so that you do not have to credential in twice. We are seeing a large influx of calls due to agents trying to utilize bookmarked links that they have favorited in their systems. Those links no longer work. It is the single sign-on link is its own new link, and that is available in the agent resources portal. That's the new way to get through. So you're signing on once, and then you get in. You can easily get into LifeBase without credentialing in twice. So you only have that option as far as getting in that, or you can take the new link and copy and paste that under the new single sign-on, which will allow you to utilize the get into LifeBase without the issues that we've seen where the link dies. So the goal here again is to protect you and your client's privacy. We definitely want you to utilize this system as opposed to any other, just because it's the most up to date with the most current rates, especially as I'm about to talk about. And where is that on the portal? It is in the agent resources section. It is the #1 link under quick links, and it says quoting in eApp. So once you've credentialed into the Sons of Norway agent resources page, you will easily be able to click on this, and it will take you directly to LifeBase or our quoting and eApp engine, and you will no longer have to credential there as well. So a little bit of growing pains. We appreciate you coming along with us on this. It really is something that we want to get done, and we appreciate you. So next up, wanted to give you a little peek behind the curtain around some pricing changes. So as a result of the NAIC's modifications to how they're calculating cash values and non-forfeiture, those are changing industry-wide. So if you haven't already seen it, you're going to see most organizations that deal with insurance policies that hold cash values, they will be changing. So this is all due to low interest rates, and NAIC is pushing these changes. So we will be announcing what that looks like very soon. Especially, we're going to try to get out in front of our guaranteed issue as soon as possible. So we anticipate that the pricing change will take place in the middle of December. And the reason we're doing that is so that you have the opportunity to execute on the rates that you're currently issuing today. So what we will be sending you is very clear instructions on what the new rates will look like and how operationally to ensure that the rate that you sold your client is actually the rate that they get. So more to come with this. We're excited to get this out there and get this in your hands. Shouldn't be any real shock. We have a number of products that this affects, including our popular GIWL and our simplified issue. Most products will take effect in January. The guaranteed issue will take place in December. So look for an announcement coming out soon. We're going to try to give you ample time and make sure we try to make that as clear as humanly possible. With that, I will turn it over to Mike.
Thanks, John. Hey, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well today. Want to go over some underwriting updates. Also, just a reminder of COVID-19 temporary underwriting policy. It's still in place, everybody. So we continue to assess our temporary underwriting policies concerning our COVID-19 restrictions for products other than GI. So this is excluding GI, obviously. Okay. So parameters are still in effect. To kind of go more in depth of what those are a little bit. For our first day coverage options for simplified issue, standard whole life, a whole life zero refund term, even though our current UL right now that's in place, if you were to write that, our issue ages are 0 to 34, and what the underwriting guide also states right now for the temporary restriction is from ages 65 to 74. If you have temporary, if your client has pre-existing conditions such as COPD, heart problems, lung problems, diabetes, things like that that are already in place, they're going to be automatically declined on that because of the COVID-19 temporary restriction. Now, that's, again, excluding GI. So if you have any questions regarding and you want to do a quick risk assessment with your client with us, please call the sales line, talk to myself, Jenna, any one of us in regards to it itself, we would be happy to go over it, of what that looks like, if your client can be acceptable or not. The last thing we want to do is waste your client's time, waste your time, and also waste our own time in regards to processing applications that we just won't accept, right? So please, if you have not read up on the underwriting, the COVID-19 underwriting restriction, it's on the agent portal. Go on there, read up on it. Any questions, give us a call or email us, and we'll be happy to explain in further detail, okay? All right. The other thing I get calls on all the time, and it's kind of one of those things where you sit there and you can sit there and say it 10 or 15 times, and you always get the same calls over again. How can I do this? How can I get this fixed? So the biggest question I get is, does Sons of Norway offer the ability for clients not to do automatic withdrawal, as in regards to their monthly? The option for monthly is no, there's not. Automatic withdrawal is the only way. But we can do non-automatic withdrawals, such as direct bill for quarterly, semi-annual, and annual payments. That is only paid by either check or money order. We do not do any credit card processing at this time. So a couple things of how to figure that out. So we understand that some people don't have savings accounts, and we understand that there is those situations where no matter what, they can't do it, even with a standard check, right? If they don't have a savings or checking account, they're not going to have a check. So the money order comes in place. But when you're actually in the application, and I want to go into that as well. I'm going to have Jenna show a picture of the application real quick. So on the insurance applied for option, after you select the option at the very beginning of how you guys want to pay, the quarterly, semi-annual, or annual, very importantly, where it says that little red circle that itself on there, it says bank withdrawal, bank account withdrawal. It usually is highlighted and checked off in blue. If you uncheck that box, it takes away the AWP form. Okay, so that makes it so you don't have to fill out that information in the e-application, because I get a lot of calls. How do I bypass this? How do I get through this? This is the way to do it. You uncheck that box, and it takes away that option. So that way, your client's going to get billed directly. Now, do remember, we will not issue that policy until I receive a check. So I want my check. So send me that check or money order, whatever the client needs to be for either quarterly, semi-annual, or annual. Get that into us. We'll issue the policy, and then on going forward, we will go ahead and as well as bill them directly, send them a bill, and they'll know when they need to make their payments itself. So that is how you do that. So again, on the insurance apply for option, the box below the premium amount says bank account withdrawal. If they do not want to do that way, uncheck it, push on through, and that'll take away that option. Next, I'm going to hand it over to Jenna. She's talking over some best practices.
All right, thanks, Mike. So with the holidays approaching, we want to take a minute and let you know how grateful we are. This has been a year with ebbs and flows, and you've been riding the wave with us. We thank you for attending our webinars, reading our newsletters, adapting to our modifications, and most of all, your continued partnership. Thanks to you, we have blown our aggressive sales goals out of the water. We look forward to much more of that in 2022. So I'll start with a quote. Gratitude helps us see what is there instead of what isn't. So with that said, we here at Sons of Norway have gratitude on our minds, and thought it would be appropriate to share some ideas on how you might show appreciation to your clients during this season. So first up, how about send a handwritten card or even an e-card? This is a low-cost way to reach out to your clients and make sure they know that you appreciate their business. Now, personally, I'm old school and find a lot of value in a handwritten card. But if that isn't an option for you, there's some really cool e-card sites out there. Green Envelope, Smilebox, and eBite are just a few. Next up, send a coffee gift card. Who doesn't love coffee? I am in a room with two people who don't love coffee, but I know that they would appreciate a gift card as a token of gratitude. Perhaps they could get a new vestibule to drink their drink of choice. You can even send the card electronically with the thank you note attached. Or for clients that might live a little further away or don't want to go out, send them a note with a sentiment, something like, I'd love to take you out for coffee sometime, but right now that's not so easy. Here's a coffee on me instead. Next, for you goofballs, prepare a thank you video. Google this. There are some really funny ones out there. They get creative, and if you have associates that like to have a little fun, this could be a great option. You can upload the video to YouTube, share it in your e-card, or send it in a standalone email, or all of the above. Next up, how about a phone call? Yes, pick up the phone, reach out. Don't talk shop. See how they're doing, send your best wishes, check in, how's the family? This small gesture can go a long way. Next, find a locally owned coffee shop, bakery, any local shop, and offer discounts. Sometimes if you work with a local company and buy in bulk, they may offer you a discount. Send your clients the goods and include a business card with that local company. So you're helping promote your local shop and giving your clients a delicious treat. It's a win for all. Next up, donate to charity. A few ideas here. Donate to a charity in the name of your clients based on their passions, or make a donation to a charity your organization is passionate about and raise awareness to the charity by letting your clients know. Put a blurb on your newsletter, on a website, etc. And Mike will actually be talking about how you can use life insurance to give back to a charity of your choice in just a minute here. Last up, give a book or a planner. There's still plenty of time to purchase either of these for some select clients, or all of them, and get them out before the new year. So with that, I'm going to send it over to Mike to talk about SI single premium.
Thanks, Jenna. All right, folks, let's talk about simplified issue single premium. Just to recap what that is your standard single premium whole life, but instead of being fully underwritten, it's a simplified issue. So, we're going to go over what that means for that itself. But the idea behind this itself actually came from a situation that happened to us not too long ago, a few weeks ago. And I'll explain that story here shortly. But this is why we came up with this. So since we are the season of gratitude, we want to consider this as an option. So leaving a legacy, very important for a lot of people itself. They want to make sure that their name is remembered in regards to people that they work with, they have done business with, whatever it may be itself, or that they just want to be associated with. They want to leave that legacy, right? So here's some things about this. So on a single premium simplified issue, it's non-medical. So the no medical exam is required. It's just a PHI and then just the overall application in regards to what your client has to deal with. So very easy, very simple to do itself. Remember, the COVID-19 restrictions do apply, so keep that in mind. But let's continue going on through this. So the biggest thing about this legal legacy, you're supporting your passions. And whether it's a cancer charity or it's for me itself, I like to support a lot of youth sport programs, things like that, stuff like that, things to help out my community. But also consider this: it's only a one-time payment, so it's just like they're doing a large donation for it as well. But it's going to actually make up for it itself, because not only are they going to be able to give back, but they're also going to grow the donation overall. And it's going to work out very well for them. They're going to be very happy about it. And in the next slide, I'm going to actually go over the situation that we had and what brought this idea to our attention. All right. So in a simplified issue single premium option, in this example, I had a male. Well, let's kind of go over this real quick. It guarantees cash values at the time of issue. So as soon as it gets issued, it has guaranteed cash value. It's participating, so there's 4 dividend option of payments. So your client is also going to be paid out on dividends on it, so it's going to work out really well for them. Left a deposit, paid up additions, so on and so forth. Reduce a premium, not reduce premium because obviously it's single premium, but overall they're going to be very happy there. And also ensures the wishes are honored for your client. That's a huge thing. You want to make sure that people are happy at the very end of the day. That's one option there. And then also wanted to discuss that the minimum face amount for this is $10,000 and the max face amount is $50,000 for this policy. So overall, we're not dealing with a large sum of money. It can get up there, but a lot of it obviously depends on age of the client, of what that looks like, of what they're putting in. All right, so here is the little background behind this. So I got a call a few weeks ago in regards to, I'm not going to say the gentleman's name, but the gentleman, he was about 50 years old. he's a standard non-tobacco. But the story behind this is that a couple of years ago, unfortunately, his father passed away from cancer, and his father left him a chunk of money, and so he was inheritance of that. Didn't really have a need for it. He's well off. He had a good job. Well over six-figure income. Just does really well for himself. And doesn't really honestly have any family. He's by himself and just didn't know what to really do with it. He decided he wanted to give back to the charity that helped his father out. Now, the reason why he felt so indebted to this company, the charity itself, is that unfortunately his father didn't have that much money, and at that time, this gentleman wasn't as well off as he is now itself. So it was even hard for him to give back a little bit, or to give to his father as much as he could. But he did the best he could. And the charity really came through and helped out in regards to making sure the father was comfortable, so on and so forth. So now this came up to where the gentleman wants to give back to them. So he came to us and asked us, okay, well, I have a certain amount of cash, and I want to donate this, the proceeds of this when I pass away, to this charity so they can help other people in need. And he wanted to know what he can get. So he asked what the minimum face amount that, what would be the minimum, what that cost would look like, and we all see what ranging. But in this example, $4,200 would actually get him $10,000 in coverage. That's more than doubling itself the actual initial investment amount. So overall, he was very excited to see how far his money can go with regarding this. Now, this is just an example of this. This wasn't the dollar values we worked with him on it, but overall, he was very, very, very happy that how much he can give back to the charity in regards to his investment. So it worked out very well. I mean, it wasn't even a question about it. He actually signed up right away on it. And this kind of led into the fact of the idea of going, well, maybe we should do this more often. Maybe this should be something that we promote to you guys, saying, have this as an idea in the back of your pocket. Obviously, if your client wants simplified issue single premium, there's a lot of great benefits from it. Even, a $10,000 policy can go a long way. So keep that in mind. All right. So last but not least itself, our sales support line. I cannot say this number enough. 833-707-0012, option 2. Okay, 833-707-0012, option 2. You can reach either Jenna or myself in regards to it. We're here for any questions you may have. And we highly encourage you, if you have any questions now, this would be time to ask them.
We've got a ton of questions, Mike.
All right.
So if a client wants to pay by check, who do they put attention to when they send?
Attention, new business.
Great.
And
okay.
Payable to to Norway.
Excellent. All right. My client does not have a social security number. Can I still write business?
Unfortunately, no. They have to have a social security number, be a citizen, or live in the United States with a social security number based on an agreed card or something like that.
So driver's license and state ID numbers, no go, right, Mike?
Driver's license, state ID numbers in lieu of a security no-go, but you can use either or for a simplified issue or fully underwritten in regards to when the requirement for the state ID requirements. Perfect.
Thank you. This is a great one. Will you be sending this webinar out and the first one from a few weeks ago? So yes, the recording will be available in an email that will be generated in the next couple of days. You'll be able to access the replay. And then the webinar from a few weeks ago, if you registered, you will have access to that. But again, that's why we tell you register for these events regardless if you can attend, because you will get the replay regardless. All right. So what are the eligible ages for SI single premium?
Ages 0 to 34.
Perfect. Why? COVID restrictions? Is that why it's only to 74? Okay.
Yes, that's exactly why. I mean,
okay.
So, again, guys, it's a temporary restriction in regards to everything. I know as most companies you're probably dealing with outside of Sons of Norway may not have the same restrictions we do, but we're also in a different situation than they are. So, and our policies and things like that are at a lower cost, things like that. So we want to make sure that we're not going to set ourselves in a situation where we may regret that down the line. So this is all precaution to make sure that we have a very long, sustainable business going forward. If there's any further questions or situations, please call me, reach out. We'll figure it out what we can do, because we can get creative with different options, right? We could look at different options in regards to, like I did a webinar, the last webinar I did, I talked about how instead of giving a life insurance option for a client at a certain age group, let's do an annuity, right? Because overall, the amount of money they were going to be paying into it actually worked out for them to start an annuity better off than it would have for a life insurance policy, because they would have paid more into the life insurance policy than they would have the annuity.
Okay, perfect. So the password change, does that apply for every agent? Yes, every agent, you do need to reset your password. Soon, we will be forcing that. So if you haven't done it, I will send instructions in the replay email as well. Somebody wants to see the contact number again. Well, we'll gladly put that up. Here you go. You can email us as well. Let's see, Mike, we have an annuity question, your favorite.
Go ahead.
Do you have a month by month, and what are the minimums? Well, that's a little complex, but what do you want to say about that?
A month by month annuity itself?
Yeah, I think
so the only annuity we have that will allow you to actually do a monthly amount is our flexible premium deferred annuity, and I'll explain a little more on that. Our flexible premium deferred annuity requires a, if it's qualified funds, $500 minimum deposit. If it's unqualified, then $2,000 minimum deposit, and then a minimum monthly amount of $75 to grow it a month. For example, I actually use this product a lot with a lot of the small business owners that I work with. Their workers itself don't have a 401k option, don't have this as an option, but I use that as their way of growing and starting a retirement account for them. So the employer actually basically paid the initial $2,000 as a bonus for them for working really hard throughout this pandemic. So you pay for 5 of them, gave me $10,000, and I put $2,000 each, and then they were pulling $75 a month out of their checking account or their check each month to grow it, right? Or any amount they chose to do so. So that is the best option overall. So keep that in mind. If you work with a lot of small businesses such as hair salons, things like that, this would be a great way for you guys to start growing those accounts. And it's as earned, right? So as money comes in, you're getting paid on it.
And Mike, we're getting questions directly related to you. Mike, do your annuities have a comp option with a smaller upfront commission and a higher annual trail?
As of right now, no. It's just it's a flat rate of what additionally comes in. So depending on what the dollar value is and regarding the age group for the client. So anywhere between 3 to 5%. Depending on the product.
Great. And yeah, give Mike a call. There are a ton of questions coming in about annuities. So I think we've covered them. Just bear with me here.
Yeah, I highly encourage everybody, if you guys have questions, after about 2 o'clock today Central Time, I should be pretty available in regards to all these questions. I'd be more than happy to go through each one of them and just go down the line of that. What that looks like, and if for some reason I don't know the answer, I will get it to you right away. I mean, it'll be answered quickly.
Yes, and so with that said, we are at time here. I know that there are other questions. We will get back to you individually. And so again, we appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for engaging with us. We're so grateful to you. And join us again December 7th. Don't quote me. I'll include that in the replay email as well. But December 7th is our final webinar of this year, and we're so grateful to you. So hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon. And happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.